Well, my name is Renda. It's good to be here. I enjoy performing my poetry wherever I can. I also host a few open mics, so I kind of know what you're going through. But yeah, I host an open mic in Delray, and one in Hollywood, and one in North Miami. And I've been hosting open mics for a few years. I've kind of turned it into my career. It's pretty cool because it's a good way to blend my career with my art, which is poetry. So I'm going to do 2 poems for you, and this first one is called The Peddler. And a tiny bit of backstory is I'm from New York, like most of Florida, and I didn't have a car when I lived in New York because I didn't really need one, but when I moved down here about 4 years ago, I needed a car, and very coincidentally, around the same time, my grandfather passed away and I inherited his car, which was a good, it was a good timing, it was a blessing in disguise, but then about a month later, I crashed it. So, and I couldn't afford to buy a new car, so I bought a bike for $100 at Walmart, and for the next 2 years, I rode my bike everywhere. But whenever I rode my bike, something about the physical motion of it all, I don't know what it was, really got me thinking, and it gave me good ideas for poems to write or lines to put in poems or whatever. But I couldn't wait till I got to my destination to write it down because I would forget. So I had to learn how to write while I was riding. And so that's what this poem is about. It's about writing poetry on my bike. And that's also how it was written. I wrote this over the course of 2 or 3 days riding back and forth from my house to work. And so here it is, The Peddler. I find pleasure in the simple pleasures in life, like writing and riding my bike, and sometimes at the same time. Best of both worlds when I ride and I write, especially at the same time. You see, I'm a peddler, and I used to be a peddler, not a beggar, but a peddler. You see, a peddler has a product to sell, and I sold comedy club tickets on the streets of New York City for 3 years straight. Straight commission, a peddler, a salesman, a peddler, a hustler, a peddler, a promoter, a peddler. I was a peddler in Times Square. I used to pedal in the square, but now I pedal in circles on my bicycle, on my way to going somewhere. Writing and riding, way out there. A peddler on the pedals of my bike, pedaling over the rose petals of life. Now stop and smell the roses. A peddler in more ways than one. And now the wheels are really turning in more ways than one. And that's what I'm pedaling for, pedaling far, pedaling fast. By far the fastest way to creatively think. It's like mental and physical link into the ink. Living life on a bike is like living life in perpetual motion with the motion of all 7 oceans. Until I get a flat. Hole in the inner tube, interlude. Switch, change the subject, switch, change gears, switch, change lanes. It all came from a strange brain. Marker in my hand, no hands on the brakes. Notebook in my hand, no hands on the bars. Hands busy reaching for stars, hands busy reaching for Mars. Why should I keep them on the handlebars? See, this is just a sample of the ample art, life art, bicycle art. I write life on a bicycle, smart. You see, the peddler likes to embark on a pedal-driven mission without driving, written while I'm riding. I'm driven without driving. Pedal to the metal, worth a pedal gold medal. It's like the motion is produced, but the flow is incidental. How many spokes on a tire? How many thoughts in my mind? How many lines on a page? It's like forward motion taught me that time never stays. See, I plan and I pray for the best. I used to write at a desk, but I had to find better ways to express. Because my mind strays when I'm stressed, but my mind sprays best when at rest, but in motion. Pedal-driven devotion. Nobody's ever written on a bike like me, not likely done. Well, it might have been done, but not like me. I'm a free spirit that rides free. I ride hands-free. A free spirit, that's what I decided to be. I decided to be me, the peddler. Yeah. Well, thank you. I like doing that poem. It's fun, and it's real. I have a car now. I bought one, but for 2 years that was my life, and it was cool. So anyways, one more poem and then I'll get off the stage, and I appreciate this audience. It's cool, because I don't know any of you, and I like that. New faces, you know. This poem, I was walking through the bookstore one day, and sometimes I just roam aimlessly through the bookstore looking for ideas, for inspiration, for whatever, or because I'm bored. But, and I'll pick up a book and I'll just read an excerpt and I'll go to the next and I'll keep doing that. And I picked up this book that had an Indian proverb that said, all the flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. I thought that was a pretty cool quote, so I wrote a poem based on that quote. It's called Planting Seeds. Then I wrote the sequel to that poem called Watch It Grow. And I'm big on goal setting and the law of attraction and positive thinking and, you know, achieving things in life. So I wrote that about planting the seeds, and this is about you watch it grow when your goals actually come to a head and things happen. So here it is. This is Watch It Grow. It goes like this. I'm on top of the topsoil, hands and knees, talking to a hole in the ground where my only seed is found, praying so hard for it to grow that I can almost see it growing. I watch carefully, envision what I want to see before it happens, and then it happens. Now I'm at the edge, seeing flight. I feel all right. I provide the sunlight with the words that I write, and the rain with the tears, and the growth with the years. See, I welcome the future with a warm gesture, and I let the past fester where it belongs. Put all my success in a song. I do it all day long. Maybe I should pause. See, this is the kind of edge that you stand at, not worried about falling, knowing full well that you're capable of flying, trying and doing. The difference between the two is proving yourself, but just know that you can't do it all yourself. It takes a whole community of willing supporters to support the dreams that you dream of coming true. Rising up out of the dirt. Potential energy is pure energy if you use it, so don't waste it. You want it so bad you can taste it. I move in sync with instinct. I have a breathtaking view of what we're about to do. Have you ever just sat and thought about time? I think about it all the time. I think it's all in my mind. This is a stolen moment. I took it from borrowed time. I spit in the face of the clock and I stopped to rhyme. This is a strange relapse of sorts, a quick retort to a long question. There's no question that this is question time. And right now, the only question that's on my mind is, how did this come about? How did it come about like this? How the heck did I wind up with this open mic sign-up list inside of my fist? Sometimes I find trying to do this and just trying to exist to be a trying mix. But still, I do it. See, I can't wait to perform this. This is that sort of twist of fate I never did anticipate. A turning point pointing toward a turn in the road. When heavy load turns to overload, I unload orally. See, I talk more to microphones than cell phones these days. I'm sorry for anything I ever did or said wrong. But it's sort of tough to say the sort of stuff that tortures me today and gets laughed at tomorrow. So I'll be back again tomorrow with even more to say, and stay on course, because this way is the course and this course is the way. Of course it's the way. It's the only way I know, the only aim I know, the only way to go. Standing and watching, scanning and plotting what's beyond the edge. All seeds sprout. Don't believe doubt. Trust me. Everything always evens out. That so-called law of attraction is true. It could happen to you. Watch it grow.
Thank you.